Hello YouTubers and welcome back to Go Figure Customs YouTube channel. We're doing figure reviews today. I've already got 2 videos done and probably uploaded to the channel by the time you watch this. I did the first video on the Selena Skeleton Trooper, Grim Reaper, and they give like 5 names to like each figure. But the female version of the exo armor with the skeleton face, so the Skeleton Trooper. And then I did a review on the 3-pack of the male Skeleton Trooper, Grim Reaper, whatever you want to call them. These are fantastic figures. I love them. They are awesome. The exo armor is amazing. I love the skeleton, like red face with the black wash. Oh, I just love these figures. These are fantastic figures. It's an interesting time for military action figures in general because G.I. Joe is back in the stores at this point in time, albeit in a, I'm going to say mixed capacity. Let's go that route. G.I. Joe right now, most of it is the 6-inch figures. They are available only at Walmart and Target, and 3 of those figures that are in that particular line are available only at Target. And there have been just horrendous stories of people not being able to find these scalpers, getting them, Target refusing to sell them before the street date, Target selling them before the street date, and everybody missing out on them. Everybody that's looking for these things, I feel so bad for you. Seriously, I do not really, the 6-inch figures are not my thing. I would probably pick up a Cobra Trooper just to have, because I like Cobra and I like specialty troopers. I would probably pick one up if I saw it in the store, but I do not think that is a realistic possibility. And that Baroness figure looks really cool, and nobody's found that set. So for all you 6-inch G.I. Joe collectors out there, I am sorry for all the shit you're going through, because Hasbro Pulse is selling stuff, selling out of stuff, or I've heard horror stories on stuff like that. Amazon pre-orders not getting fulfilled. Amazon's jacking the price up on, it looks like, Destro and Snake Eyes to like $30 a figure. People are scalping these things for like 5 times the price on eBay. Holy shit, you guys, I am sorry for that. And if you're not a 6-inch collector, well, you have the retro line to fall back on. And that is hitting Walmart exclusively at this point in time. And that particular line consists of Snake Eyes, Storm Shadow, and the Baroness. I don't have any yet. I'm going to go look for them. Probably not today, maybe tomorrow. Probably not tomorrow. I don't know. I'm going to go look for them because I want the blister that comes on the card for my customs. Because my review of those figures, I'll give it to you right now. If you bought the Baroness, Storm Shadow, or Snake Eyes in the 50th anniversary line, you already own these figures. That is my review. These are completely just repacked figures. However, the Snake Eyes figure is actually a really nice figure. It's probably the best version of Snake Eyes they've made. I say that, but I like the old style commando head on that body, which they have the version 2 head on that body. And I like the V1 head, looks a lot better on that body than the V2 head does. And I don't like the head that they used on the Storm Shadow figure either. There's better heads available. So I think that was kind of a shitty choice on Hasbro's part. However, the Baroness figure is really nice. I wouldn't mind picking up a few of those for customs. But again, if you've bought those figures in the 50th anniversary line, you already have those. Or Retaliation. I think those figures also came out in the Retaliation line. So, yeah, they're figures you already have. So there's your review. Go look at the ones you have and decide whether or not you like them. Because from what I've seen, the cards are flimsy. The file cards are shit because they're in 5 different languages, so most of the information is not on there like they were when we were kids, like the Real American Hero line. So I've seen a lot of disappointment in those. Scalpers are getting these because it's G.I. Joe, and oh my god, if it's G.I. Joe, it's got to be worth a mint. So, man, it really sucks to be a G.I. Joe collector right now trying to get new stuff. Luckily for me, my interest is in the JoyToy figures, which just put out this set of PLA Army Ground Forces. And well, yes, it is supposed to be a Chinese team. The camo pattern on there looks very boy, I can't even freaking say that. It looks like it will work for just about any nation. Any nationality is gonna, it uses a camo pattern similar to this. So the box, we've got a nice picture on the front, smaller picture on the back, PLA Ground Forces top bottom, logo on the sides. The back is the usual, there's that QR code. I did scan, not this particular one. I'll have to do that, and I'll throw that into my next figure review. But I have scanned that QR code on previous figures, and it doesn't do jack shit. So I don't know why it's there. I don't know what it's supposed to go to, but whatever it's supposed to do, it doesn't work. And then just the usual, what it's made of, the name of the set is, their website. It's 15 plus, it's a choking hazard, and that's about all the information on the back of the package. So we'll open these up. Yeah, that's what I thought. So these are smaller boxes, which automatically tells me these do not come in those nice plastic tubes. So this isn't, packaging's pretty cool. It would look okay on a shelf if you're a mint and box collector, but I think the last sets that have come out, so this is the Armed Forces subline, and then we've got the Battle for the Stars subline, and I think these really are a lot nicer for if you're a mint and box collector. These are going to display a lot better than these, because you can actually see the figures in those. Where this is just photographs in, like a photograph in like photoshopped photograph art, digital art, rather than like being able to see the figure itself. So kind of a mark down for, I like the packaging on these better than I do on the Armed Forces stuff. And the fact that it doesn't come with the plastic tubes, that probably saved me a few bucks. I don't use the tubes. I've got a huge friggin' tub of those things, probably 60, 70 of those tubes. But I do like the fact that they're stackable, and would make really nice, would really be a really nice way to display figures. That's not how I have my collection set up. I've used stuff like that in the past and spent a lot of money on stuff like that. So to have those would be handy for a lot of collectors. So you're kind of getting dicked on that as well. So kind of a mark down for packaging and kind of a mark down for not getting that stackable tube. However, that probably does cut your cost a little bit. I don't remember how much these are. I do buy my figures from Locker. All my JoyToy stuff comes from Locker Toys. You guys should sponsor me. I send a lot of business your way. So let's dig into these figures. Normally there's like the boxes are marked like A, B, C, D, E. These are not marked, just a plain box. QR code on the back. Again, that probably doesn't do anything. You know what we're gonna do? I'm gonna pause the video right here. I'm gonna scan that QR code, see if it does anything, and then we'll report that right back to you. So hang on a sec. All right, I scanned that QR code. I'm shooting on my iPhone, so my iPhone uses Safari as a web browser, and it says Safari cannot open the address because it's invalid, and then it asks to take me to the App Store, so I allow it to do that, and it wants to install an app called WeChat. I installed the app just because, hey, it's an app from the App Store, should be okay, should be safe, won't fuck up my phone, and it's asking me to sign up for an account. I don't really want to take the time to do that right now for something that probably will let me maybe chat with the creator that probably doesn't speak English anyway. So there you go. That's what your QR code does. It doesn't, the email address or the website's invalid, and it wants you to install a app that's probably like WhatsApp. For what reason, I don't know. So let's get into the figures. So yeah, we just got the regular box, no display tube, the package insert. We're gonna have a mess to clean up after all this. Okay, your plastic insert still has all the same stuff. Has a picture of the figure with the gear laid out in front of him on the front, and a picture of the team on the back. The usual stuff of, you know, like what it's made out of, where they're made. Heating it up with the hair dryer, all that stuff. I've mentioned this in other videos. I'm not going to rehash it. It just, there's no point in it. It's not useful information. All it's saying is all it's saying is all the gear is interchangeable with other figures. If you're going to interchange it, heat it up with a hair dryer before you take it off, because that will soften the plastic up and make it a lot easier for you to interchange your gear. So yes, all the gear is interchangeable. Heat it up before you do it. And I have found that a hair dryer works a lot better than boiling water. So there's a tip for you. And I did a tutorial on that on this channel. So, all right, we got the like shrink wrap plastic, or the crinkly plastic. All right. So what do we got in the plastic? Hang on a second. I need to set this up so I have a way to dispose of this stuff as I do it. All right, so we've got a bullpup style rifle. That is a new sculpted rifle for JoyToy. I am not a fan of this style of rifle. I do not like it at all. Just usually because the magazine tends to interfere with the way the figure holds the weapon historically. I don't know if that will hold true on this. His joints are a little stiff. Man, that camo pattern is fantastic though. So our first head is sunglasses with a helmet and like maybe a GoPro and a light on there. A nice leg pouch sculpted on. That might be a new sculpted pouch there. I'm not positive on that. We got a holster on the other one with magazine pouches front and back. Pistol. We've got a pistol with a tack light sculpted on. That might be a new sculpt. I'd have to double check on that. And I'm going to say it probably doesn't fit very well in the holster. Yeah, look at that. It doesn't fit very well in the holster. That is like starting to be my only, and I was going to say my biggest complaint, but it's kind of my only complaint with JoyToy right now, is that the pistols, I mean, it does fit in there. And if you are going to use the pistol that came with, be sure and put pressure underneath the holster and then press down on the pistol to like force it in there. Otherwise, you're going to, if you just push down from the top, you're probably going to tear the holster off. That's not the end of the world. You can glue it right back on, but save yourself the headache. And in my previous video, I did do kind of a review of other pistols that do fit in this holster better, because it is pretty much, I think it's the same sculpted holster. And the pistol that tends to fit the best so here's a like smaller Sig Sauer frame style pistol that fits in there really nicely. I have a 21st century, and I don't think the 21st century hasn't made stuff in a long time. Colt M1911, and it doesn't fit in there very well at all. So, and then I don't remember if Marauder made this is a Glock frame, because I know Marauder makes Glocks. They're usually sold out, so if you see them, buy a bunch. But BBI, Elite Forces, made a Glock a long time ago as well. So I don't remember if this is Marauder or BBI, but here's your winner. And I have a Glock myself, so I'm a little partial to Glocks. The Glock is the best pistol to fit in there. When those do come in stock at Marauder, I'm probably going to buy like 100 of those, and then just replace them on all of my figures because that fits in there best. Body armor, instead of fitting at closing at the sides as it has on previous, this is the body armor that's come with the last few figures, and has straps that I don't know how to describe it. It doesn't clip in, but they the straps go through a little loop on the top. This is not my favorite type of closure on accessories. It does seem to work okay on these, but previous vests that I've had with other companies, that's not the best way to do that. But it does seem to work okay with these. We do have elbow pads on these. I will say be careful with the elbow pads. Don't get them over the joints. Either move them up so it's over the joint or move it below, because that will interfere with the articulation. Again, it's not the end of the world. It's just annoying. Sorry, dry throat. I took a few of these JoyToy figures on my last deployment to South America, and like all of the, like, I took like 4 maybe, and all of the elbow pads were like on the joint, and I didn't have a way to like heat it up to move it out of the way, so it was kind of an irritation for that. The joints are a little stiffer than they have been on other figures, but not to the point where I'm worried about it breaking. And he did come with extra joints. There were some extra joints in that pack. Let's grab his gun before I don't know which gun was his. This one. So yeah, his gun does not fit in there particularly well. So your best bet's to replace that. Those are going to get lost because they don't sit in there very well. The articulation's nice. We've got the these should be newer hips. So yeah, the legs are still not quite where I would like him to be to sit, but he sits pretty well. He sits a lot better than previous figures do. So, well, not quite perfect. It's definitely getting there. And then the like bullpup style rifle, I'm curious to see how well he holds that, because usually that magazine interferes with the hand. He holds that actually pretty well. So they did a really good job of engineering that rifle, because most of the time any bullpup style rifle, that magazine will interfere with the forearm and your figure won't hold that style of rifle very well. This one, it does work pretty well on this figure. I will give you that. I don't like these rifles at all. I just don't like the style. I don't know why. Personal preference. So he is not getting that rifle. He is going to get, let's see what we've got handy. What is handy here? I need to make another Marauder Task Force order. I'm running out of stuff. So you don't have magazines for ropes, weapons. And he's just going to get a HK. All those freaking magazines. Yeah, what do we got? I got a lot of stuff, but I don't like any of it. A lot of heavy machine guns. Here, we're gonna give him M16 or M4 M203 combo. Probably wouldn't be my first choice. It's an older kind of style weapon, but I don't like that other weapon style at all. So there you go. So, you know, holding a different style weapon completely takes away the fact that this is supposed to be like a PLA soldier. You know, he's not holding a Chinese issued weapon. Now he's got a US issued weapon, and that camouflage pattern works very well for a US pattern. I'm not really up on patterns from other nations, but I'll be willing to bet that's close enough to wherever you are from. I'd be willing to bet the military forces in your country have a similar pattern to this. So it will be close enough that it will work for military of your nationality. Here's a nice weapon, custom weapon. I'll set that aside for my next guy. Here's another one of those M's. We're going to replace that. I'm just going to pull guns real quick here. Wow, that's kind of a cool one. Another one of my custom weapons. Here, we're just going to give him some stuff. I'm going to make a specific Marauder Task Force order just for these guys. Alright, you know what? We'll do this later. We don't need to do this on the video right now. Alright, so that's your figure, first figure. Again, they're not labeled, so I can't say this is figure A, figure B, figure C. That's just the first figure I pulled out of the box. Again, I do like the fact that even though he's supposed to be PLA, that they no longer have the Chinese flag on there. And I know a lot of people are saying they refuse to buy these figures because they're not going to support anything from China. I can understand your reasoning for that, but realistically, anything that you bought probably anything anywhere that you bought, if it didn't come to China, it didn't come from China, whatever was used to make it or get it to you did come from China. So the fact that you say you're not going to buy something because it came from China really just, I'm not going to say it's stupid, but you need to realize how the world works now, and you just can't do that. You can't get stuff that is not from China. I mean, you cannot live. You can get stuff that's not made in China, but you cannot live free of stuff made from China. That is the world we live in. And I'm sorry. The other thing that he did have, I forgot to mention, that's really kind of cool, is he's got that sculpted on, well, it's not sculpted, it's glued on, but he's got that little carabiner on there, and it is open at one end, and you can clip stuff into that. Do I have something handy that I can clip into that? Yeah, we'll give him this crappy rifle back. There you go. That is a fantastic idea. I don't know why anybody never thought of that before. I don't know why like BBI didn't think of that, because they did some really innovative stuff with weapons and gear for their time, or G.I. Joe, or 21st Century, or Marauder Task Force. I don't know why. Myself, for in my customs, I don't know why nobody thought of that before, but it is brilliant and I love it. And I wish I had more stuff that specifically plugged into more stuff to attach to that. And I wish I had like an accessory pack of those, because I'd like about like 20 of those pieces for Rock Viper and Alpine Customs. All right, so second figure, we got, I'm going to say that is identical to the first one. Same head sculpt, same pouches, same body armor. Yeah, that's identical to the first one. The skin tone is definitely could work for Caucasian for sure, but it's, I'm going to say it's dark enough that it will work for Oriental as well. And, you know, remember where you live. If you're in America, you have a lot of Oriental people here that are from America. I think one of my favorite scenes from Captain America is where Captain America is breaking out the Howling Commandos from the German prison, and Dum Dum Dugan's like, are we taking everybody? And I can't remember the guy, the character's name, but the Oriental guy pulls out his dog tags and says, I'm from Fresno, Ace. So, you know, remember where you're from. Just because they look different doesn't mean shit. All right, we're going to give him a different gun. I've got this, customized this, like, saw with a, like, grenade launcher, M203. I saw this particular type of weapon with a 1/6 scale figure a number of years ago, and made weapons based on that. And whatever figure I gave that to apparently did not survive. I think I gave this to I made a custom SEAL team with Microman figures a number of years ago for a custom contest. And I ended up stripping those guys for gear. So I think this is one of the guns that those guys had. All right, so articulation's the same on, it's the same buck. I mean, they've been using this buck on almost all of their figures. I think with the waist is a newer piece. It started with one of the last PLA sets, which allows them to sit a lot better. But I think what just blows me away is that they're using the same buck, and I hate this from Hasbro, is just repaints. But they're using the same buck, and they're able to make it a completely different figure with just paint. And I think that says something phenomenal about the paint jobs, is that is almost, I won't say it's impossible, but it's difficult to tell that it is the same buck, same figure that you've been buying over and over and over again. It just has different gear and different paint on it. And it is so hard to tell that. That's how awesome a job these guys are doing with these figures, is that even though you're buying the same figure again, just repainted with a different head sculpt and different gear, it's really hard to tell. So there's your second figure, same as the first. Does he have the, he does have the carabiner sculpted, not sculpted, but attached to his chest. So we're going to give him his crappy bullpup style weapon. And I don't know what particular weapon this is. I am definitely not up on Chinese weapons. I would assume it is a Chinese issued weapon. You know, these guys are supposed to be Chinese Army. For that fact, I'm really kind of disappointed that they didn't give these guys some sort of Kalashnikov variant, because I really do like the AK-74s. They're really some really cool looking variants of the AK-74, which is a newer version of the 47. So I think they missed the boat on that. I hate the bullpup style rifle, and I think they could have done a lot more by giving these guys Kalashnikovs than whatever FAMs or whatever this is. So, boo, I guess, you know, I mean, I guess I'm starting to get a little bit more critical on these, because the figures are so fantastic. There's just nothing else to nitpick on these guys. All right, here's our sniper. He comes with the sniper rifle. Again, this is one that came with one of the PLA set, one or two of the PLA sets. I don't like the rifle. It's a bullpup style rifle as well. Oh, actually, you know what? I'm not sure. That may be a new sculpt, actually. Because that looks a little different than the ones that have come with previous rifles, or previous figures. So we've got... We've got this rifle, and it's got a bipod. I do like the silencer, though. So we'll stick the bipod on there, just so we don't lose it. Ooh, this real hard plastic. I'm always worried about breaking that bipod clip. All right, you know what? I'm gonna do that later. I'm gonna break that. If I don't, I'm gonna have to heat that up. So, yeah, same rifle as the other guys, same pistol. Pistol probably does not fit in the holster real well. No. I mean, it fits okay, but it's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. The vest, is that the same sculpt on the vest? Let me look at that real quick here. Yeah, same sculpt on the vest. All right. It was hard to tell. I like the sculpt on the vest because there's a radio here sculpted on, and a microphone sculpted onto the left side of the vest. Like I said previously, a bunch of millions of times, I wish JoyToy would do accessory packs of their weapons and their vests and their heads, because I would buy a shitload of those for customs. Okay, he came with the sniper's rifle. I am going to replace that with a sniper rifle from Marauder Task Force. So, I happen to have this. I don't remember what custom I bought this for and then didn't end up using it. Or I think I bought it because I thought I lost the one that I was going to use for a custom and then found the one that I bought for the custom, so I ended up using it anyway, or had an extra. All right, and this isn't the same as the other rifles. This has a different stock at the back than the other ones did, because the stock on the first two rifles was hollowed out, and this one is not. So I can't clip his crappy rifle onto his body armor like I could with the other ones. So I am giving him a new rifle. The head sculpt's different too, sorry. We've got a helmeted head sculpt without the sunglasses, which the first two had sunglasses. Here, let's position him a little different. I love the camo pattern, the colors on this camo pattern. The Fort Carson and Peterson Air Force, I think it's Fort Carson, here in Colorado Springs, a lot of the guys at Fort Carson have digital camo that's a little different than the stuff that I'm used to seeing the Army wear. And I really like the color scheme on the stuff that the guys at Fort Carson are wearing. And this is very reminiscent of that. So I really like the colors on this color scheme, or the colors on this particular figure. And the digital pattern is really nice. They did a fantastic job with the camos on this. So far, the detractors are the weapons. That's personal preference. I do not like that style of weapon. Easily fixed because I have just an endless amount of 1/18 scale weapons to give these guys. And that the pistols don't fit in the holsters real well, and that is just like across the line. All right, so there's your first three. We got two more to go. Oh, these are number letter. Woo. Right. These are crap. Oh well. Oh hey, those are JoyToy rifles. Let's pass those out. All right, so they are lettered. I didn't see that. So that last figure was D. I haven't been pulling those inserts out. And yeah, it shows on the inside the different, what gear comes with that particular figure. So the inserts will tell you whether this is figure A, B, C, or D, or E. I don't think it really matters that much unless you're like total anal retentive OCD. Who cares what figure this? Well, you know, okay, what figure is this? This is figure B. All right. I think aside from me being able to tell you what figure this is to make it sound like I'm an expert on the subject matter is about the only reason to know what figure that is. All right. All right, so we've got a non-sunglassed, another like head without sunglasses that is different than the last guy. That helmet, however, is different than the last guy. See his little, on the front of his helmet there, the little clip, the night vision goggles that came with Indigo Fleet will clip into that, because that is the same style clip that is here. Let's get a set of those real quick. I have those right here. So that is the same style clip that is on the Indigo Fleet guys. So if you have those night vision goggles, they will plug into, at least they should, yep. Yep. Those night vision goggles from the, I need a bigger camera. So those night vision goggles from the Indigo Fleet will plug into that particular helmet, which is awesome. And he may just get those because I like that. I like that look. It looks a lot better on these guys than it does the Indigo Fleet guys. And again, this is why I wish they did accessory packs. His rifle is the same as the last guy's. It does not have that hollowed out stock. Therefore, I can't clip it onto his body armor. And I've got a custom, I did this custom rifle using, that is a BBI M4. I used a BBI shotgun. I cut down and underslung it, added a silencer and a scope. And then the double barrel, or the double, not double barrel, what is those? The double magazine. So that's a very customized weapon. I don't remember what figure I gave that to originally, but it was in my weapons fodder bin, so this guy's gonna get it. Arm joints are a little stiff on these guys. On mine anyway. So just be careful with the joints on these. I don't think they're to the point where you need to heat them up, but just be aware that the joints are a little stiff. Here. All right, so that's your fourth figure there, one figure left to go, which is figure, this is probably figure A. I did these completely out of order. No, it's figure C. All right, so they weren't even packed in order, so that's how much it matters. I got a mess to clean up after this. All right, so for our last figure, helmeted, no sunglasses. He's wearing a balaclava though, So bottom half of his face is masked, and the night vision attachment is like the other first three figures. It's not going to, you cannot peg something into that. It would be pretty easy to customize that. Marauder Task Force makes a 4-barreled. Do I have one of those handy? I don't think I do. No, I think all the ones I have are on customs, and all my customs are all those customs are carded. But I think it'd be really easy to modify that with Marauder Task Force parts to add the night vision goggles. Oh, excuse me, I got the hiccups now. Same pistols, the other guys. And we're back to the rifle that has the hollowed out stock. So that's a little easier to see because I guess I did show that. So that's what it looks like with hollowed out stock. Let's do a comparison there, just so you can see. Oh, and the ones, all right, yeah, okay. So the stock is a little different. The ones without the hollowed out stock have a scope on them. And then the ones without the hollowed out stock have a shorter barrel. It's not a real, I need a backdrop or something like this, or to take pictures and drop them in. So it's kind of nice that there's some, different weapons for these guys, but like I said, I don't like these weapons, so it's kind of a down detractor for me, but I like the fact that I can clip it onto the body armor using that carabiner. I think that is a fantastic action feature, and it's something that they should be included on like every action figure in the future, because that is awesome. And that is something I would like to see from other like accessory pack type of thing, is those things that I could add to other figures, to my customs. All right, so there's your fifth and final figure. Again, same body armor, same pouches. Everybody's got all of the same stuff. It's uniform, which, works really well for military guys. So uniformity is kind of the name of the game on this. The only difference on these are a couple of weapons and head sculpts. So packaging, let's do the three things that I always hit on. Packaging shit on this, honestly. Number one, because it doesn't scratch that itch for the mint and box collectors that like to display their stuff on shelves, and it doesn't come with those plastic tubes to display your figures. Again, for me, none of those things matter to me. The packaging is going to go in the garbage as soon as I'm done shooting this video, and I resign myself to cleaning up the mess I've made from shooting today. And I don't need more plastic tubes right now because I got a shitload of them. But I know other collectors really want that kind of stuff. So that may be a detractor for you. Playability is great. The joints are a little stiff. It's not my favorite design on the vests. However, they did a really good job on these and it works really well. So however they're engineering these, even though this has historically for me not been a very good way to secure a vest, they work really well on these figures. The Indigo line, the Indigo Fleet figures had the same, and Blackhawk figures had the same style of vest, and it works really well on those. So hey, props for making something that historically has been shit work very well. I think that's just speaks volumes to the amount of energy that the JoyToy design team has put into these figures. And then again, the only other complaint I have is the pistols do not fit into these holsters very well. You force it, you're going to rip the pouch off or the holster off. your best bet's just to get some nice pistols from Rod or Task Force. They're very cheap. So I think they're like 60 cents a piece, maybe. So you can equip your team really easily. This particular set, I don't like the weapons. It's supposed to be a Chinese team. So I understand the fact that they should have like Chinese issued weapons. But the Chinese use Kalashnikovs too. So I think they really, really missed the boat on this by not giving these guys Kalashnikovs, because there are so many really awesome looking variants of the AKs that they really could have done something really cool with this line. And even like U.S. Special Forces guys, like behind the lines, they'll use Kalashnikovs. So I mean, this could have been a Special Forces team that was using Russian gear. I think they really missed the boat on giving these guys these bullpup rifles. However, the fact that I don't like these style rifles, I will give them props to making a bullpup style rifle that works well in the hands of your figures. Historically, that has been a huge problem. I've never, I won't say never, but I very rarely see a bullpup style weapon that a figure holds well. They are able to hold these well. You know who this would go well with, if you've got Dusty from G.I. Joe, because he came with a FAMS style rifle. If you're going to do a Dusty custom, these would be perfect for that, because he will be able to hold that a lot better than any other rifle that you're going to get on the secondary market. So the weapons are kind of a wash, personal opinion, but they work very nicely with the figures, which is not something that I've historically seen from that style of weapons. So I'll give them kudos for that. I like the fact that even though these guys are supposed to be Chinese, they did not put the flag on there this time, as they have with other PLA sets. So they can be any nationality that you want them to be, because I remember reading in a G.I. Joe comic book, they're like, you know what, at night every camo pattern looks like every other camo pattern. So and it's very close to a US pattern I'm familiar with. I don't know the name of it, unfortunately, to tell you, so you can Google it and kind of compare it. So these definitely could be any nationality that you wanted them to be. So definitely props on that. Playability is fantastic on these. The joints seem a little stiff in the shoulders, so I'd be careful with those. Everything else seems to be fine. These guys do seem to sit well. They're not perfect, but they're a lot better than the JoyToy figures even from a year ago. Customizability, it's the same buck that all the other JoyToy figures use. So you can customize these any which way you want. All the gear is removable. You can take the gear off this figure and put it on any other JoyToy figure, and vice versa. Again, it says it in the instructions, and I've said it a bunch of times. Heat it up before you do it. It will make that job a lot easier for you. But I think these bucks would be fantastic for customs. I'm not quite to the point of using these. I really like the Marauder Task Force stuff for customs, but I think at some point in time, I may start just buying these guys just for customs, because they are fantastic figures and the gear is amazing. Do I recommend this set? Yeah, you know what? Absolutely. Even though I don't like the weapons and the packaging may be a detractor for some of the people, this is a fantastic camo pattern that works well for any nationality. So this is a very versatile set. Just give them some different weapons and it's a whole different team. So that camo pattern's awesome. So definitely recommend these guys. And I say that about, I don't know that I have bought any of the JoyToy stuff from either the Star, Battle for the Stars subline? Yeah, Battle for the Stars subline, or the Armed Forces subline, that I don't recommend and would not, I would buy again if somebody said, hey, I got a set of these, you want to buy a second set? Yeah, I probably would if the price was right. I think the only JoyToy figures I probably wouldn't recommend are the initial Russian line, because so much of that gear you had to assemble yourself. You had to glue all that stuff together, and the articulation, the joints were not real stable. They're really cool. The helmets didn't fit really well. They're really cool looking figures, but the engineering just wasn't there yet. But once they started making the armed forces, they really just hit their stride. And these are a very good example of how fantastic figure JoyToy makes. So do I recommend these? Absolutely. These are fun figures. I'm glad I got them. I mean, this is very easily works very easily for a SEAL team set or a Delta Force, anything that you want them to be. I think that's what's nice about the camo pattern and not having a flag. As far as flags, I would recommend water slide decals if you want to put flags on these guys. I get my water slide decals from Bad Mother Tattoo and Decal. They have an eBay store. They're receptive to customs, or you can make your own. I'm going to try and start making my own. I probably won't put water slide decals on these guys just because I have so many of these guys. To put water slide decals on everybody it would take me days to do that, and I'm just not that invested in it. But if I was going to do make customs of these guys, absolutely, I probably would. I don't think I really have anything else to add to this other than, packaging wasn't quite there, but it probably saved you some money, so it made these guys a little cheaper. The camo pattern's fantastic. Will work for any nationality, any kind of regular military or special forces team. And yeah, you could use these for customs, and this is probably one of the best figures that you could use for a custom base for realistic military customs. I don't think I don't think I got anything else to add to that. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the review. I hope you found it useful. Figures are available at Locker Toys or Big Bad Toy Store. Sponsor me, guys. Come on, man. I send you a lot of business. And like, share, subscribe, comment, all that fun social media stuff. And stay tuned for more videos. And thanks for watching.